My daughter-in-law just abandoned me at a train station to test my sanity. I'm Bill Crawford, and I'm 79 years old. What Ashley didn't know when she drove away with my phone was that she'd just made the biggest mistake of her influencer career. You see, she thought she was testing a confused old man. Instead, she was about to discover exactly who built the platforms that made her dreams possible. I stood there in that empty station, watching her taillights disappear, and I wasn't angry. I was calculating. The last train to anywhere had left 3 hours ago. The clock on the wall showed 11:47 p.m. No cell towers for miles. Just me, the flickering fluorescent lights, and the sound of Ashley's white BMW driving back toward Austin with my wallet, my phone, and a smile I should have recognized years earlier. If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. This story starts 3 months ago when Ashley moved in with her grand plan to become Austin's next big influencer. Ashley moved into our guest room in July with 2 suitcases, a ring light, and 12,347 Instagram followers. She called it her Austin era. I called it freeloading, but I kept that to myself. My son David thought his wife was chasing a dream. I knew she was chasing dollar signs. The disrespect started small. Eye rolls when I asked about her day. Sighs when I didn't understand her content creation schedule. But then she discovered my flip phone. Bill, seriously? It's 2024? She'd wave her iPhone like a magic wand. How do you even function with that dinosaur? I'd smile and change the subject. Ashley never asked why a retired librarian needed 2 phone lines. She started filming everything. Content opportunities, she called them. Me struggling with the TV remote. Me asking David to explain streaming services. Me forgetting where I put my reading glasses. One morning I caught her recording me making coffee. Just documenting authentic moments, she said, not lowering the camera. My followers love real family content. But the coffee was for her. I'd been making it the same way for 40 years. That's when I found her text messages to David. She'd left her phone on the kitchen counter, screen up. The conversation was right there. Your dad is getting worse. Yesterday he couldn't remember my friend's name. I'd never met her friend. Maybe we should look into memory care options just to be safe. Ash, he's fine. He's just getting older. I'm documenting everything for his own good. 3 days later, she left me at Target. Said she'd be right back. Took my phone so I couldn't call David for a ride. I waited 2 hours before a store manager helped me contact my son. Dad, where were you? Ashley said you wandered off. I didn't correct him. Not yet. The next week, she convinced David to hide my car keys. He's not safe driving anymore. This about a man who'd driven through Austin traffic for 30 years without a single accident. Ashley had a plan. I could see it taking shape in her content calendar, her brand partnership emails, her late-night phone calls with marketing agencies. Elder care is huge right now, I heard her tell someone. Authentic family caregiving content. I've got documentation going back months. She'd maxed out 3 credit cards. Chase, Capital One, Discover. $8,000 in debt, all for influencer conferences, camera equipment, and sponsored post requirements she couldn't meet. Her followers were dropping. Last month, 12,400. This month, 12,251. The algorithm wasn't kind to desperate content creators, but Ashley had found her angle. The caring daughter-in-law, the sandwich generation warrior, the woman sacrificing her youth to care for aging family. All she needed was proof that I was actually declining, so she started testing me. Bill, what year is it? What's the president's name? Can you tell me how to get to the grocery store? Questions designed to make me look confused, filmed for her phone, edited for maximum impact. I answered every question correctly. She kept the camera rolling anyway. Sometimes he gets disoriented, she'd tell the lens. It's hard to watch someone you love fade away. The woman had never loved anything except her reflection in a ring light. But I played along, let her think she was winning. Let her believe that Bill Crawford, retired librarian, was exactly who she thought he was. Meanwhile, my real phone kept ringing, the one Ashley didn't know about. Conference organizers, board members, investment managers. October 18th was circled on my calendar. VidCon Austin. Ashley had been planning for months, spending money she didn't have on a conference pass she couldn't afford. She had no idea I'd been invited to speak. The train station was her final test. Her masterpiece. The evidence she needed to prove I was incompetent. Instead, It was the mistake that would end everything she'd worked for. The morning after the train station incident, Ashley uploaded her teaser video. "Taking care of aging family members isn't easy," she said to her camera, sitting in our kitchen. "Last night, my father-in-law got confused and ended up stranded. We're exploring memory care options because sometimes love means making hard decisions." 700 likes in 2 hours. Comments pouring in about her strength, her sacrifice, her beautiful heart. Meanwhile, I sat at the breakfast table reading emails on my flip phone. Conference confirmations, speaking fees, stock dividends. David looked exhausted. He'd driven 3 hours round trip to collect me from that train station, listening to Ashley's story about how I'd insisted on taking a walk and gotten lost. "Dad, maybe Ashley's right. Maybe we should look into assisted living facilities, just for peace of mind." My son, my brilliant son who managed IT systems for a mid-sized company, who understood complex networks and data security, who'd inherited his mother's practical intelligence. He couldn't see what was happening in his own home. Ashley had positioned herself perfectly, the concerned wife, the voice of reason, the woman brave enough to speak uncomfortable truths about aging and family responsibility. If I stayed silent, I'd lose everything. Not just my independence, not just my home, but my relationship with David, built over 30 years of birthday parties and baseball games and late-night conversations about life and work and dreams. Ashley was rewriting our family history, making herself the hero of a story where I was the burden. "I found some places online," she continued, scrolling through her phone. "Nice communities with activities and nursing staff. Dad could make friends his own age." Dad. She'd never called me that before. The financial cost was secondary. Assisted living in Austin ran $15,000 a month for decent facilities, but money wasn't the real price. The real price was watching my son choose between his wife and his father, watching him believe that love sometimes looks like abandonment, watching him learn to see me through Ashley's eyes, confused, declining, dangerous. She was teaching him that disrespect could be disguised as care. 3 brands had already reached out to Ashley about partnership opportunities, elder care products, insurance companies, medical alert systems. Her pivot to caregiving content was opening doors that follower counts alone couldn't unlock. "I'm thinking we visit some places this weekend," David said, "just to see what's available." Ashley nodded sympathetically. "It's important to plan ahead, for everyone's safety." I finished my coffee and stood up. "I need to make some phone calls." "Dad, don't you want to discuss—" "I'll be in my room." I had 48 hours before VidCon, 48 hours before Ashley's world collapsed and mine rebalanced itself. The stakes were simple: my dignity, my family, my home, and Ashley's entire future. The confrontation started over breakfast Wednesday morning. Ashley was editing video on her laptop, cutting together clips of me struggling with everyday tasks. "Is that the footage from yesterday?" I asked. She didn't look up. "Just documenting Dad's good days and bad days." "I'm sitting right here. You can call me Bill." "Sorry. Still editing. Documenting Bill's good days and bad days." I sat down across from her. "What exactly are you documenting?" "Memory issues. Confusion. Safety concerns. Click, cut, drag. David needs to see the pattern." "What pattern? How you've been declining." "When did I decline?" "Bill, you got lost at a train station. You left me at a train station. I told you to wait in the car. You took my phone. You forgot where you put it. You removed it from my jacket pocket." She finally looked up. "Are you accusing me of something?" "I'm correcting the record." "Bill, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This confusion about what really happened." David walked into the kitchen, coffee mug in hand. "Perfect timing. Dad, what's wrong?" "Ask your wife." Ashley closed her laptop. "Your father thinks I deliberately left him at the train station." "That's not what I think. That's what you did." "Dad," Ashley explained. "Ashley lied." The room went quiet. David set down his mug. Ashley's voice went soft, hurt. "Bill, I would never hurt you. You filmed me for 3 hours yesterday. I was spending time with you. You were creating content. Content helps families cope. Content helps you get followers." David stepped between us. "Everyone needs to calm down." "Your wife maxed out 3 credit cards," I continued, $8,000 in debt, all for influencer equipment. Ashley's face flushed. "That's private information." It's family information. Bill, you're having an episode? I'm having a conversation. David, this is what I've been telling you. The paranoia. The accusations. My son looked confused. Torn. Dad, maybe we should what? Believe her version? Check the Ring doorbell. Tuesday, 3:42 p.m. Ashley took my phone from my jacket. I helped you look for it. After you hid it. Bill, please, sit down. I am sitting down. You're getting agitated. I'm getting accurate. Ashley pulled out her phone, started recording. Now what are you doing? Documenting this episode for the doctors. Put that away. The doctors need to see your credit report. David raised his voice. Stop. Both of you. Ashley kept filming. Bill, can you tell me what year it is? Can you tell me what you owe Capital One? What's the president's name? What's your real follower count? David, you see how he deflects simple questions. David, you see how she deflects honest ones? My son sat down, rubbed his temples. This isn't helping anyone. Ashley put away her phone. Victory expression. She'd gotten exactly what she wanted. Me, looking agitated. David, looking concerned, content for her narrative about my declining mental state. I'm going to my room, I said. Bill, wait. Ashley's voice, gentle now. I'm sorry if I upset you. I'm just worried about your safety. I stopped at the kitchen doorway. My safety? The train station incident. Getting confused about your phone. These accusations. It's concerning. You know what's concerning, Ashley? What? Tomorrow's VidCon keynote speech. I left them sitting there, David asking questions, Ashley making excuses. Neither of them asked what I meant about the keynote speech. They should have. My flip phone rang at 9 a.m. Thursday morning. Ashley was in the living room, setting up her ring light for what she called morning motivation content. David had left for work. Bill Crawford speaking. Mr. Crawford, this is Rebecca Martinez from VidCon Content Policy. We wanted to confirm your presentation materials for tomorrow's keynote. I spoke quietly. Everything's ready on my end. The tech team will need your slides by noon for equipment testing. I'll send them over. And sir, the press kit with your bio and company history is generating significant interest. Pre-registration for your session hit capacity Tuesday night. Ashley looked over from her ring light setup, curious about my phone conversation. That's wonderful news, Rebecca. Should we include the ConnectSpace acquisition details in the introduction? Use your discretion. Yes, sir. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m. I hung up. Ashley was staring. Business call, I explained. What kind of business? Conference stuff. You go to conferences? I smiled. Sometimes. She went back to her lighting adjustments, but I could see her processing. The retired librarian who could barely use a TV remote was taking business calls about conferences. My second phone rang an hour later. The encrypted line Ashley had never noticed. Bill, it's Tyler Johnson from Platform Safety. Morning, Tyler. We've been monitoring the creator you flagged, Ashley Crawford, username Content Queen Austin. I glanced toward the living room. Ashley was filming herself talking about authentic family moments and generational caregiving challenges. What did you find? 3 instances of potential elder exploitation content in the past month. Ring doorbell footage, care scenario staging, medical information shared without consent. Actionable? If we can demonstrate clear evidence of manipulation or abuse, yes. Platform ban, revenue suspension, content removal. I'll have additional evidence tomorrow. The VidCon presentation? Exactly. Sir, the legal team wants to confirm you're comfortable with public attribution. This will identify you as a reporting party. Tyler, it's time people knew who they're reporting to. I hung up and found Ashley in the kitchen, making coffee. Another business call? She asked. Insurance matters. You have a lot of insurance matters for a retired librarian. Retirement planning is complicated. She poured herself coffee. Didn't offer me any. What kind of conference are you attending? Technology conference. You? At a technology conference? I'm interested in learning. Ashley laughed. Actually laughed. Bill, you can't figure out Netflix. What are you going to learn at a tech conference? More than you might think. My third call came during lunch. David was home, eating a sandwich between meetings. Crawford speaking. Mr. Crawford, this is Jennifer Walsh from Forbes. We're preparing our coverage of tomorrow's VidCon keynote. Could we schedule a brief interview about the ConnectSpace legacy in your current investment portfolio? Ashley dropped her fork. Let me call you back, Jennifer. Certainly. My direct line is, I have it, thank you. David was staring. Forbes wants to interview you. They're doing a story about the conference. About you specifically? About one of the sessions I'm attending. Ashley recovered her composure. What's Connect Space? Old tech company. You worked for a tech company? I knew some people there. As a librarian? Libraries use technology, Ashley. She wasn't buying it. I could see her mental gears turning. The phone calls, the business terminology. Forbes magazine wanting interviews. Bill, what exactly is your background? David leaned forward. Dad worked at the university library for 30 years. You know this. I know that's what he told us. My son looked confused. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting your father might have more experience with technology than he's let on. I stood up from the table. I need to prepare for tomorrow. Prepare what? Ashley pressed. My presentation. You're giving a presentation? Just a small session. On what topic? Digital platform ethics and elder user safety. The silence lasted 15 seconds. David broke it. Dad, when did you become an expert on digital platforms? Who said I was an expert? Ashley's voice went sharp. You're speaking at a technology conference about platform ethics. I'm sharing some observations. What kind of observations? Personal experiences with how platforms handle exploitation content. Another silence. Longer this time. Ashley's coffee mug trembled slightly in her hands. Exploitation content? Content that takes advantage of vulnerable people. Elder abuse documentation. Medical privacy violations, that sort of thing. My phone buzzed with a text message. Ashley could see the screen from where she sat. VidCon security, Mr. Crawford, your backstage access passes are ready for pickup. David read the message over my shoulder. Backstage access? Conference speakers get different passes. You're not just attending, you're speaking. I mentioned that. Ashley stood up abruptly. I need to get ready for tomorrow. For what? VidCon. I've had my pass for months. She left the kitchen quickly. We could hear her on the phone in the living room, voice urgent, words unclear. David looked at me. Really looked at me. Dad, who are you? I patted his shoulder. Same person I've always been, son, just with a few things I haven't mentioned yet. Tomorrow, Ashley would find out exactly what I hadn't mentioned. Thursday evening, Ashley insisted on taking me to dinner. Family bonding, she called it. David couldn't join. Last-minute work crisis. She chose Cafe Luna, an upscale Austin restaurant with perfect lighting and photogenic food. The kind of place influencers brought their ring lights and tripods. I thought we could have a nice meal, she said, setting her phone against the salt shaker. Just the two of us. The red recording light was already blinking. Are you filming this? Just documenting our family time together. My followers love authentic intergenerational content. She'd positioned us at a corner table. Good acoustics, flattering angle. I was backlit, looking older, more fragile. She faced the camera directly, looking concerned and caring. So, Bill, tell me about your day. I recognized the interview cadence, leading questions, loaded setup. It was fine. Any confusion? Memory issues? Not that I noticed. Sometimes people don't notice their own symptoms. She spoke to the camera, not to me. It's important to watch for signs. Difficulty with familiar tasks, problems with planning, confusion about time and place. Our server approached. Young woman, early 20s. Ashley smiled brightly. We're filming a little family content. Hope that's okay. Of course. Would you like me to recommend our specials? Actually, could you help us with something? My father-in-law has been having some memory concerns. Could you ask him a few simple questions, just to demonstrate how we check his cognitive function? I set down my menu. Ashley. It's fine, Bill. This helps other families. The server looked uncomfortable. I'm not sure I should. Nothing medical, just simple orientation questions. What's your name? Where are we? What year is it? Really basic stuff. Ashley, stop. See how he gets agitated? This is what families deal with. The server backed away. I'll give you a few minutes to decide on food. Ashley kept the camera rolling. Bill, can you tell me what restaurant we're at? I can tell you to turn off that camera. The name of this restaurant, Bill. Cafe Luna. And what city are we in? Austin, Texas. Good. And who am I? The woman about to delete that video. Bill, I'm your daughter-in-law. We've discussed this. 2 tables over, I noticed people watching. Ashley's voice had gotten louder, performing for her phone and the accidentally recruited audience. What's today's date? October 17th, 2024. And what year did you retire? 1994. Ashley paused. 1994? Bill, that's 30 years ago. You couldn't have retired at 49. I'd given her the wrong date deliberately. The test. You're right. I misspoke. This is exactly what I mean. She faced the camera directly. Memory issues with dates and timelines. It's so hard to watch someone you love struggling with basic information. Our server returned, visibly nervous. Have you decided on... Actually, Ashley interrupted. Could you witness something? Bill, what year did you retire? Ashley, order your food. This is important. For his care plan. The server looked between us. Maybe I should get the manager. No need, Ashley said. We're just documenting cognitive decline for medical purposes. That's when I stood up. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, voice carrying across the restaurant. My name is Bill Crawford. Tomorrow I'm delivering the keynote address at VidCon Austin on the topic of digital platform abuse and elder exploitation. Conversation stopped. Phones came out, but not to order food, to record me. This woman has been filming me without consent, documenting fake cognitive decline, and planning to monetize elder abuse content for social media followers. Ashley's face went white. Bill, sit down. You're having an episode. I'm having a revelation. I pulled out my phone. Not the flip phone. My actual phone. Rebecca, it's Bill Crawford. Are you at the conference center? Excellent. Could you confirm for this restaurant that I'm your keynote speaker tomorrow? I put the phone on speaker. Mr. Crawford, absolutely. We're excited for your presentation on platform responsibility in the creator economy, lessons from ConnectSpace. Should I read your bio for confirmation? Ashley tried to grab my phone. I moved it away. Please do. William Crawford, co-founder and former chief technology officer of ConnectSpace, acquired by Meta Platforms in 2019 for $731 million. Currently serves on the boards of 15 major social media and influencer marketing companies. Leading advocate for creator ethics and platform responsibility. The restaurant was dead silent. Rebecca continued. Your session is sold out, Mr. Crawford. 12,000 registered attendees plus live stream audience. We're expecting our largest keynote attendance in VidCon history. Thank you, Rebecca. I hung up and sat back down. Ashley was staring at her phone screen, watching her live video rack up comments. Holy shit, is this real? He just got exposed live. That woman is about to get canceled so hard. Someone record this and post it everywhere. Ashley stopped her recording, fumbling, shaking. Bill, I didn't know. You didn't ask. I thought you were confused, declining, incompetent. Our server returned with the manager, both grinning. Mr. Crawford, we had no idea. Tonight's dinner is on us. And ma'am, the manager looked at Ashley, we have a policy against filming other customers without consent. Ashley grabbed her purse. I need to go. Your car's in the parking lot, I said calmly, unless you've forgotten where you parked. She ran. I finished my dinner alone while 3 different food bloggers asked for photos and 2 tech journalists requested impromptu interviews. The video of my restaurant revelation hit social media before I got home. #VidCon drama was trending by midnight. Ashley was about to discover that going viral wasn't always a good thing. VidCon Austin, October 18th, 2:15 p.m., main stage. 12,000 seats sold out. Another 2.1 million watching the live stream, the largest keynote audience in conference history. I stood in the wings watching Ashley in the crowd. 3rd row, center section. She'd arrived early, claiming her spot with the confidence of someone who belonged there. David sat beside her, still processing last night's restaurant revelation. He'd come home to find Ashley packing, me reading financial reports, and social media exploding with videos of our dinner confrontation. Dad, is it true? ConnectSpace? It's true. $731 million? After taxes, legal fees, and employee bonuses, yes? Why didn't you tell us? You never asked what I did before the library. Ashley had spent the night frantically deleting content. Too late. Screenshots live forever. Rebecca Martinez stepped to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the co-founder of ConnectSpace and leading advocate for digital platform responsibility, William Crawford. The applause was thunderous. 12,000 people rising to their feet, multiple camera crews, live social media feeds. I walked onto the stage Ashley had dreamed of reaching. She was staring up at me, mouth open, phone in her lap, finally understanding what she'd stumbled into. "Thank you." I waited for silence. 3 months ago, my daughter-in-law moved into my home with a plan to become a successful content creator. Murmurs from the audience. This wasn't the typical tech keynote opening. She saw me as an obstacle. An old man who didn't understand her generation's hustle. Someone whose confusion and decline could become content for her followers. I clicked to my first slide. Ashley's Instagram profile. Username visible. Follower count displayed. Ashley Crawford. 12,000 followers. Struggling to monetize her platform. Drowning in credit card debt from conference fees and equipment purchases. Ashley sank lower in her seat. David was looking around, realizing people were starting to recognize them. Tuesday night, she drove me to a train station and abandoned me there. No phone, no wallet, no way home. She filmed it. Click. Security footage from Austin Union Station. Timestamp visible. Tuesday, October 15th, 11:47 p.m. The audience gasped. Actual audible shock from 12,000 people. She called it a test. Testing whether I was really senile, really confused, really incompetent. Another click. Ashley's text messages to David, screenshot and enlarged. "Your dad is getting worse. Maybe we should look into memory care options." She documented every interaction, every conversation. Every moment she thought proved my declining mental capacity. Click. Ashley's content calendar showing planned elder care video series. She pitched brands on authentic family caregiving content, insurance companies, medical alert systems, adult diaper manufacturers. The crowd was getting angry. I could feel the energy shift. What Ashley didn't know was that I built this industry. Click. Connect Space logo. Development timeline from 2003 to 2019. Connect Space. Early social media platform focused on authentic human connection. We pioneered creator monetization tools, influencer marketing systems, the foundation technology that makes today's social media economy possible. Click. Acquisition announcement. Meta logo. $731 million price tag. When we sold to Meta in 2019, our platform policies became the foundation for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp creator guidelines. I paused. Let that sink in. I currently serve on the advisory boards of 15 major social media companies. I help write the policies that govern platform safety, creator ethics, and content moderation. Ashley was crying now, actual tears streaming down her face as she realized what she'd done. Yesterday, I flagged Ashley's content to our platform safety teams. Click. Ashley's videos compiled into a single reel, her mocking my confusion, her staging cognitive tests, her documenting my decline. 3 instances of elder exploitation, medical privacy violations, manipulation of vulnerable individuals for content creation. The audience was completely silent, 12,000 people holding their breath. But I wanted to give Ashley one final chance. One last opportunity to prove that content creation could be about building others up, not tearing them down. Click. Restaurant footage from last night. Professional quality, multiple angles. She chose exploitation. The video played. Ashley questioning my memory, asking the server to witness my cognitive decline, performing concern for her camera while humiliating me for content. This is not content creation, this is abuse. The crowd erupted, boos, angry shouts, people standing, pointing toward Ashley's section. I raised my hand for silence. Ashley wanted to go viral. Today she gets her wish. Click. Live demonstration of platform administrative tools. Instagram account, Content Queen Austin, status permanently suspended. Real-time ban happening on stage. 12,000 people watching Ashley's digital life disappear. TikTok account, Ashley_Content Queen. Status permanently suspended. Another platform down. YouTube channel, Authentic Ashley. Status permanently suspended. Her entire online presence deleted in real time. Facebook page, Ashley Crawford Content. Status permanently suspended. The audience was cheering now, actual celebration of digital justice. Revenue partnerships with 3 elder care brands, terminated. VidCon Creator Fund application, rejected. Industry influencer marketing database, permanently blacklisted. I clicked to my final slide. A simple message. Content should build others up, not tear them down. Real influence comes from lifting people up. Real authority comes from protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Real power comes from using your platform to make the world better, not just your bank account bigger. The applause lasted 5 minutes. Standing ovation from 12,000 creators, executives, and industry professionals. Ashley was gone, her seat empty. David sat alone, looking lost. I found him afterward in the lobby. He was reading news articles on his phone. Our story was everywhere. "Dad, I'm so sorry. You didn't know? I should have known. I should have protected you." You learned something today. About assumptions. About listening. About asking the right questions. What happens now? Now you decide what kind of man you want to be, and what kind of marriage you want to have. Ashley's completely devastated. Ashley's completely exposed. She's my wife. She's a woman who abandoned your father at a train station for social media content. David stared at his phone. News notifications pouring in. His wife was becoming the internet's main character, and not in a good way. The whole world knows what she did. The whole world knows what we both did. Your response was proportional, Dad. Hers wasn't. I put my hand on his shoulder. Son, I spent 50 years building technology that connects people. Ashley spent 3 months using that technology to exploit me. The industry needed to see the difference. Will she ever recover from this? That depends on what she learns, and whether she chooses to learn it. What about us? Our family? I looked around the VidCon lobby. Thousands of content creators, all talking about boundaries and ethics and responsibility. All because a young woman underestimated an old man and forgot that respect is earned, not given. We'll figure it out, but there will be new rules. What kind of rules? The kind that protect people from becoming content without their consent. David nodded slowly. She really thought you were declining. She thought what she needed to think to justify what she wanted to do. How long have you been planning this? I smiled. Since the moment she took my phone and drove away. The phone calls, the conferences, Forbes magazine. I wanted to give her every opportunity to change course. She chose escalation instead. She chose wrong. She chose consequences. We watched the news coverage on the lobby monitors. #VidCon Justice trending worldwide. Ashley's story becoming a case study in creator ethics and elder abuse. She'd wanted to go viral. Mission accomplished. By 6 p.m. Friday, Ashley's life had been completely reorganized by the internet. Her phone hadn't stopped ringing. Reporters, lawyers, creditors. 3 credit card companies demanding immediate payment on her maxed-out accounts. David found her in our guest room, surrounded by legal papers and termination notices. "Ash, we need to talk." She looked up from her laptop, eyes red from crying. "The sponsorship deals are gone, all of them." "How many?" $15,000 in lost revenue, plus the conference fees I can't get refunded, plus the equipment I bought on credit. I stood in the doorway, watching my son process his wife's financial recklessness. "Ashley, show him the lawyer's letter." She handed David a certified letter from the Texas Attorney General's office. "They're investigating me for elder abuse." David read silently. His face got paler with every paragraph. "Criminal charges? Possible. Exploitation of elderly persons. Recording without consent. Harassment. They have the restaurant footage, the train station video, everything. How did they get? Bill provided it." David looked at me. "Dad?" Tyler Johnson from Platform Safety forwarded Ashley's case to state authorities. Elder abuse investigation is automatic when there's video evidence. Ashley grabbed another letter from her pile. "My marketing agency dropped me. Look at this." David read the termination notice. "Effective immediately due to conduct incompatible with company values." "It gets worse," Ashley continued. "Brand Connect blacklisted me from their entire network. That's 200 companies I can't work with anymore." She pulled up her phone, showing David her social media accounts. All suspended. All permanently banned. I had 12,000 followers. 6 years of work. Gone. "You had 12,000 followers you were planning to deceive," I corrected. "Bill, please. I've learned my lesson." "Have you?" She gestured at the papers scattered around her. "Look at this. My life is ruined. Your scheme is ruined. Your life depends on what you do next." David sat on the bed next to his wife. "Ash, Dad's right. This isn't about platform bans or lost revenue. This is about what you did to my father." "I thought he was actually declining." You thought what you needed to think. David, you agreed with me. You wanted him in assisted living too. I trusted your judgment. That was my mistake. Ashley turned to me. Bill, what do you want? An apology? Money? What will make this stop? I want you to understand why it happened. Because I made content about family caregiving? Because you exploited an elderly person for social media engagement? I was documenting legitimate concerns. You were manufacturing evidence to support a predetermined narrative. David stood up. Ashley, listen to yourself. You're still defending this. I'm trying to survive this. You're trying to avoid responsibility for this. I walked into the room and sat in the desk chair. Ashley, 3 organizations want to interview you. What organizations? AARP's Elder Rights Division, Texas Adult Protective Services, and 60 Minutes. Her face went white. 60 Minutes? They're doing a segment on social media elder abuse. Your case is their primary example. I can't go on 60 Minutes. I'll look like a monster. You'll look like exactly what you are. The question is whether you'll take accountability or keep making excuses. David pulled up news articles on his phone. Ash, read these headlines. Influencer abandons elderly father-in-law for content. VidCon keynote exposes social media elder abuse. $731. Million tech founder destroys daughter-in-law's career after train station abandonment. Ashley grabbed his phone. They're making me sound like a criminal. You might be a criminal. That's what the Attorney General's office is investigating. David, you have to support me here. I have to support my father here. I'm your wife. You're the woman who abandoned my father at a train station. The shouting brought me back to reality. This family was disintegrating in real time. Both of you, stop. They looked at me. Ashley, you have 3 choices. Fight this and lose everything, including David. Accept responsibility and rebuild your life honestly, or disappear and start over somewhere else. Those aren't really choices. They're the only choices available to people who exploit elderly family members for social media content. David's phone buzzed with a text message. He read it and looked shocked. Dad, it's from my HR department. They want to meet Monday morning about family circumstances affecting workplace reputation. Ashley grabbed the phone. What does that mean? It means my wife's national news scandal is threatening my job. David, I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this, Ash. I stood up. Ashley, the 60 Minutes producer is Laura Chen. She wants to interview you Tuesday. You can tell your side of the story. What would I say? The truth. That you were desperate for influencer success, that you made terrible decisions, that you've learned from the consequences. Will that help? It will help more than hiding. David looked at the legal papers scattered around the room. How much do we owe in total? Ashley shuffled through bills. Credit cards, equipment loans, conference fees, maybe $25,000. $25,000 for a social media career that lasted 3 months. I thought it would work. You thought exploiting my father would work. I walked to the door. You both need to decide what you're willing to live with. David, your marriage is your choice. Ashley, your future is your choice. But the consequences of the train station are permanent. Bill, wait. I turned back. If I do the 60 Minutes interview, if I take full responsibility, will you ask them to drop the criminal investigation? Ashley, I didn't start the criminal investigation. You did, when you filmed yourself abandoning an elderly person. But you could speak up for me. I could, if I believed you understood what you did wrong. I understand. Do you? Because 5 minutes ago you were still calling it content about family caregiving. She was quiet for a long moment. I exploited you. For social media followers, I planned it, I executed it, and I filmed it. I put your safety at risk for content that would make me money. That's accurate. I'm sorry doesn't fix what I did. Also accurate. Will you help me with the interview? I looked at David. My son needed to see accountability in action. Yes, but only if you tell the complete truth. The complete truth will destroy any chance I have at content creation. Ashley, content creation was never your talent. Manipulation was. Then what am I supposed to do now? Learn a skill that builds people up instead of tearing them down. Like what? That's your homework assignment. I left them in the guest room, sorting through the wreckage of Ashley's influencer dreams and David's trust in his wife. The consequences were just beginning. The 60 Minutes interview aired Sunday, November 3rd. 22 million viewers watched Ashley Crawford explain how she'd abandoned her father-in-law at a train station to create viral content about elder care. Correspondent Laura Chen didn't go easy on her. You filmed yourself questioning his memory? Yes. You documented fake cognitive decline? Yes. You left him stranded with no phone, no transportation, and no way to contact family? Yes. For social media content? Ashley's voice broke. Yes. The interview became the most watched 60-minute segment of 2024. Ashley Crawford trended for 3 weeks. Not in a good way, but something unexpected happened. Ashley told the truth. Complete, unfiltered truth about her desperation, her debt, her willingness to exploit family for followers. I convinced myself I was documenting legitimate concerns, she said to the camera, but I was manufacturing evidence for a story I wanted to tell. I needed Bill to be confused and declining because that narrative would get me followers and brand partnerships. Did you consider the impact on Mr. Crawford? I thought about the impact on my social media career. That's what mattered to me. Followers, engagement, revenue. I turned my father-in-law into content without his consent. Do you understand why that was wrong? I understand now. But understanding after you've hurt someone isn't the same as understanding before you hurt them. The interview changed everything. 3 days later, YouTube announced new policies on elder exploitation content. Instagram followed with updated community guidelines specifically addressing family caregiving videos. TikTok banned cognitive testing content entirely. Ashley's case became the template for what platforms wouldn't tolerate. The Crawford Protocols, industry publications called them, stringent guidelines protecting elderly people from being turned into content without explicit ongoing consent. VidCon announced a new track for their 2025 conference, Ethical Content Creation and Vulnerable Populations. They invited me to chair the advisory committee. Ashley received over 300 messages from other content creators, some supportive, many not. But the unexpected ones were from adult children who recognized their own behavior in Ashley's story. People who'd been filming aging parents without consent, turning family struggles into content, exploiting generational gaps for engagement. Your interview made me realize what I was doing to my mom, wrote one creator. I deleted 6 months of videos and apologized to her yesterday. The Texas Attorney General dropped criminal charges after Ashley completed 40 hours of community service with elder rights organizations and paid $12,000 in fines. Her marketing agency offered her a job, not creating content, writing educational materials about creator ethics and platform responsibility. You understand the problem from the inside, they explained. That makes you valuable for prevention education. David's company promoted him. His handling of a family crisis with integrity and accountability impressed his supervisors. We watched how you supported your father while holding your wife accountable, his manager told him. That's leadership character we want to develop. But the biggest change was in their marriage. Ashley moved out for 3 months. Lived with her sister in Dallas while she figured out who she wanted to be without followers and ring lights and brand partnerships. I need to learn how to have relationships that aren't performed for an audience, she told David. They started couples counseling, real conversations about respect and boundaries and the difference between love and content. Ashley got a job at a local nonprofit, administrative work, 40 hours a week helping senior citizens navigate Medicare enrollment and prescription assistance programs. It's not glamorous, she told me during one of our monthly family dinners, but it's useful. I'm helping people instead of exploiting them. The work was hard. Real work, with elderly people who needed genuine assistance, not performative caregiving for social media audiences. Some days are frustrating, Ashley continued. Mr. Patterson forgets my name every morning. Mrs. Williams asks the same question 6 times in one conversation. But they're real people with real needs, not content opportunities. How does that feel? Different, better, like I'm building something instead of taking something. David and Ashley reconciled in February. New boundaries, new expectations, new understanding of what marriage looks like when it's not performed for followers. They moved into their own apartment, Ashley insisted. I need to prove I can be a good wife without being a financial burden to your father, she told David. Dad doesn't care about the money. I care about the money. I care about earning my way and paying my debts and building a life that isn't dependent on other people's confusion. By spring, Ashley had paid off 2 of her 3 credit cards. The nonprofit work didn't pay much, but it paid enough for a modest life without debt accumulation. She started a blog, not for monetization, for documentation, her experience navigating the consequences of social media exploitation. Rebuilding trust after digital destruction, she called it. The blog attracted attention from researchers studying social media addiction and creator economy psychology. Universities invited her to speak about the path from exploitation to accountability. "I'm not proud of what I did," she would tell student audiences, "but I'm proud of what I learned from facing the consequences." The speaking engagements paid better than the nonprofit work. Ashley was building a career around education and prevention, teaching other creators about the difference between authentic content and exploitative content. "Content should build others up, not tear them down," she would say, echoing my VidCon keynote. "If your success requires someone else's humiliation, you're not successful. You're parasitic." VidCon invited her to speak at the 2025 conference, not as a creator, as a cautionary tale and education advocate. "We want people to hear directly from someone who made these mistakes," Rebecca Martinez explained. "Your story prevents other people from making the same choices." Ashley accepted, full circle from attendee dreaming of influencer success to speaker warning about influencer exploitation. The irony wasn't lost on any of us. "I finally got my VidCon speaking slot," Ashley told me over dinner. "Just not how I planned." How does it feel? Terrifying. But right. Like I'm using my experience to prevent harm instead of cause it. That's growth. That's what accountability looks like when you actually commit to it. David looked proud of his wife. Not the performative pride of social media relationships, but the quiet satisfaction of watching someone you love become a better person through hard work. "What's your topic?" I asked. "From exploitation to education. How digital accountability can rebuild trust and purpose." Good title. Good life lesson. Ashley never returned to traditional content creation. No followers, no ring lights, no brand partnerships. But she found something better. Purpose. Usefulness. The satisfaction of work that helped people instead of hurting them. "I thought influence meant having followers," she reflected during our last family dinner. Turns out influence means having impact. And impact means making other people's lives better, not making your own life more profitable. It took a train station abandonment and global humiliation to teach her that lesson. But she learned it. 6 months later, our family looks different. Ashley and David visit for dinner twice a month, real dinners. No cameras, no content, just conversation and connection. Ashley brings me articles about tech industry developments. She's genuinely interested now in understanding the companies I helped build and the policies I helped shape. "I never asked about your work before," she admitted during one visit. "I assumed retired meant irrelevant. Retired means selective." "What are you selecting these days?" "Projects that protect people from becoming content without their consent." Ashley nodded. She understood that reference personally. David and I have grown closer. The crisis taught him to ask better questions, to look beyond surface assumptions, to value character over convenience. "I should have asked why you had 2 phones," he said. "You should have asked why Ashley was filming everything." "I thought she was just enthusiastic." "She was enthusiastic about exploitation." "I won't make that mistake again." The new boundaries are simple but absolute. No filming family interactions without explicit consent from everyone involved. No using family members as content or case studies without permission. No exploiting generational differences or technology gaps for entertainment. No monetizing family relationships or personal struggles. Ashley follows these rules religiously. She's seen what happens when boundaries get crossed for social media success. "I destroyed 6 years of content creation work in one train station video," she tells audiences at her prevention workshops. "But I also discovered that my content creation work was destroying my family relationships." Which loss was more significant? The family relationships. Content is replaceable. Trust isn't. My speaking schedule has expanded. Universities, tech conferences, policy symposiums. The Connect Space story resonates with people building social media companies and people using social media platforms. "We created tools for connection," I tell audiences. "Some people use them for exploitation instead. Our job is building guardrails that prevent harm while preserving authentic communication." Ashley's nonprofit work evolved into policy consulting. She helps social media companies understand exploitation patterns from the creator perspective. I know what desperation looks like because I lived it, she explains to platform safety teams. I know how someone justifies exploitative content because I wrote those justifications myself. Her insights helped shape the Crawford protocols that now protect elderly users across major platforms. You turned your worst experience into your greatest contribution, I told her recently. I turned my greatest shame into my most useful skill. That's redemption. That's accountability with purpose. David got promoted again. Leadership recognized that someone who can navigate family crisis with integrity can handle workplace challenges with wisdom. Our family isn't the same as before Ashley's train station scheme. It's better, more honest, more intentional, built on respect instead of assumptions. We learned to see each other accurately, David observed. We learned to treat each other carefully, Ashley added. I smiled. We learned that content should build others up, not tear them down. Ashley laughed. I'm never going to live that line down, am I? Not if I can help it. If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. And remember, respect is earned through character, not age or technology. Real influence comes from lifting people up.